I'd like to bring in now Asha Wild. She's one of the thousands of Western North Carolina residents who lost everything during Hurricane Helene. Asha, thank you so much for your time there. I think for any of us to just really stop and put ourselves in your shoes, we can understand the feelings. I know you were getting emotional as you were listening to some of those firsthand accounts from the people there with President Trump. Just talk about what was going through your mind as you listened.
I wasn't really, this kind of last minute, this interview, and I wasn't really thinking about all of the details of it. And that day is everywhere around us all the time. Like, the devastation is very real. It's very present. I'm driving through it all the time. I'm surrounded by it. My mom lives like right where the interview that just happened with your correspondent is, like right there. So I'm in it, and it's not, that day is not constantly cycling through my head. But it's still very present. And so hearing the stories of other people and their evacuations and their staying on the roofs and things like that just really, brought my own experience back up very quickly. Just like, okay, yeah, like it's still really in my body and really in my system. And so when you hear other people talk about it, it's like, yeah, that's real. That happened. And it was so sudden. And so, the river came up so quickly and it went back down relatively quickly. And so everything it left behind is still here. But that day itself was really intense and kind of like a moment I'll never forget in my life, for sure.
Yeah, no, understandably 100%, because again, so many times, the media will come in, we cover something, and, of course, the news cycle continues on, but life, still has to continue on for the people who are affected. Asha, what is the situation right now for you and your family?
It's very, it's like very stuck. We're kind of like on hold in a lot of different ways. On hold waiting to hear back from FEMA about longer term housing help. That's been something, we did get a lot of help from FEMA in different ways, and they've been really present, but there's certainly things that are that just seems like there's holes in the system. And so the longer term housing assistance, specifically rental assistance, because there are different kinds of FEMA housing, but rental assistance has been something that my family has been on hold for, I think, for about 2 months. We just talked to them a few days ago again, and it just kind of keep getting like we're working on it. Like, you're just gonna have to be patient. And that's where we would be able to like rent a house and have FEMA help pay for it. And then there's also, just because of the holidays and because it's been so cold, today's the first day. I think yesterday was the first day it got above freezing in 2 weeks or so, which is pretty unusual for this area. So a lot of things like volunteer groups and other organizations that were coming in to help clean and help rebuild, everybody kind of went home around Thanksgiving, and it's been really, really slow since then. So it's just felt like a lot there was a burst of activity, and now it's just kind of not a lot is happening.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of stagnant.
Well, I know the president, he is there. He is certainly bringing renewed attention to the area there. I know he's kind of calling out FEMA there, possibly considering getting rid of FEMA. Are you confident now that things will change, that maybe some of this slow process will speed up, so to speak?
Personally, no. I don't understand why. There was an opportunity right after the flood to have Congress call Congress back, and that was delayed till after the election, to call Congress back for hurricane relief. And then since the election, there was another attempt in Congress and to get comprehensive hurricane relief passed, and that also didn't happen. So I also know that just with the government, a lot of things do happen in a frustratingly slow pace.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen, and definitely I wish had happened sooner and needs to kind of happen quick.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.